It's really interesting, though, about my 2011 Crown Vic versus my 89 Grand Mark. I mean, the fact that, in terms of steering, I like the 2011 more. And the only reason I like the 2011 more is because, it gives the same amount of feel as my 89, which is pretty good. But the 2011 has the pinky steer feel. In other words, it's light all the time. It's light off center. It's light on center. It's just amazing. I really like that because you can really just whip the car around. And I don't know why people say that the Panthers, like the box ones in particular. I don't know why they say their power steering is over boosted. I like it. I mean, it's light all the time. I don't think that's over boosted. I think that's actually very sporty. I mean, you can just pick a direction and just whip and just flick it in, and it just doesn't care. It's a really cool feeling. And if anything, I dislike the whole it's heavy on center, but then once you load it up, it gets light. I actually don't like that. I mean, that of all the things that my specialist did, that was the one thing I disagreed with. I mean, the car is still amazing to drive. The 89 Grand Mark I'm referring to here, but they should have just kept the stock power steering pump, and obviously just run a cooler toward because for just reliability and because I drive really hard and doing donuts and everything. I never had problems with the pump overheating either. I just flushed the fluid. That tends to do good things for your pump as well. Free hit! Oh shit, no. Fuck it, go this way, you got it. I weight transfer the wrong way. I feel like an idiot. Oh well. Oh no, I will not lose them here. Oh, that was really not smart. Alright. Have to be slightly smarter about that. But, my 2011 Crown Vic, even with a rebuilt and actually slightly upgraded suspension, it does not have the same just utmost bite and just it's hard to describe, but like with my 89 Grand Mark, I enter a turn, it just immediately takes line. I mean, instantaneous. There's no nervousness in that car. It's just I think part of it is also the kind of aggressive alignment I have on it, but it's one of those things, a car that turns in very quickly and claws at apexes, but it doesn't tram line, which is cool. I really like that. And there's very, very little understeer in that car, which is also very cool. But like I said, even when my 89 had a completely trashed front and rear suspension and like a bent front sway bar and just lots of other things wrong with it, the fact that it still had better feel on corner entry than my 2011 Crown Victoria did with, upgraded slightly and, just fully inspect suspension front and rear. That's ridiculous. And I know part of the 11's problem is that I do have an ADCO rear sway bar on the back, so that I believe the rear sway bar is actually slightly larger than the front. But all that would do is just give you understeer. That doesn't. I don't think that would interfere too much with the car's ability to just take a line. And that is my biggest issue with that car. I mean, I don't know if it's because of the longer wheelbase, but that doesn't really make sense because it's not. It's a Whale Town car. I mean, Whale Town cars I think have 120.6-inch wheelbase. That's only, I think that the Grand Marks were 114. Actually, I don't remember this off the top of my head, but it's not a huge difference. Where's this guy going? Please turn the other. Well, don't turn the other way. Okay, beautiful. Oh, I feel like an idiot now. Alright, whatever. What are you doing up there, fella? But, and then that was really the issue for me there, because the fact that, in terms of shift linkage, I like the box and the late whale style pretty much the same. I do give a little bit of bias toward the box, because just with the way how far the shift linkage, or just how far the column shifter sticks out, it's a little easier. I don't have to, I don't have to reach as far. It just seems like in a slightly better position. But I like the shift pattern of the later cars because it goes overdrive to 1, and then you can lock out overdrive with a button on the end of the column shifter, which is really cool. I mean, I had so much fun with that with the 2011. Yes, because even with its rod knock, I'm still going to have fun with that car. I did a couple, pulls from first, and then I would mainly go to second, then up, then third, and then fourth, and that was kind of fun. But even just having that kind of precise control over the gears. Because with my 89, I don't run into this problem very often, but some roads, second gear is too short, but third gear is too long. And the fact that, with an 89, it goes park reverse, neutral, overdrive, overdrive lockout, also known as third gear, and then low. There's no 2. And first gear is only good until about 30 on that car, so unless you're on a really, really tight road, you're going to be in between second and third. But then, I don't know, like I said, that would be the one thing I would change on the whole, the shift linkage and everything. I mean, obviously, just, in terms of feel, it feels fine, but I imagine, just replacing the bushings and, upgrading various things would make it feel even better. But, in other words, it's not a huge priority. And it wouldn't be a huge priority for my 11 as well. I mean, it only has a teeny tiny bit of slop initially, but it doesn't feel bad. I mean, and for 330,000 plus miles, it feels really good. I mean, very close to my 89. But takeaway for all this is that, for my 2011, I don't know exactly why it feels nervous on corner entry. I mean, I imagine it's a combination of things. I imagine, crappy stock suspension parts with crappy rubber bushings for the most part. I imagine that's probably a good chunk of it, and the alignment is a chunk of it as well. But on the other hand, I don't think that's entirely true either, because the 89 felt much better on corner entry despite having trash, mangled, destroyed suspension parts and bushings. I mean, you should have seen the body mounts in my 89. Holy shit. They were beyond bad. I mean, my guy had to cut them out. I mean, those things were seized. That was a funny saga there too. He said he spent like 7 hours on that. It was funny. I believe it too. Trust me, I've seen it before. I've seen what those cars look like when nobody replaces the body mounts. It's pretty bad. And so then this kind of gets into the whole, why am I hanging on to Brianna? The fact that the only time Brianna feels as good as EBIT does on corner entry are in really tight turns. I mean, we're talking like 15, 20 mile per hour, like extremely tight turns. And the problem is, there aren't enough roads around here that have those kinds of turns. I mean, I can name maybe 2 or 3 decently long roads, and even then, those have plenty of sections with longer turns in between. And so it just doesn't make any sense. And not only that, because, New York State's really stupid, I have to get things made after 1995 emissions tested. And, well, I don't like stock exhaust. I don't like stock in-tank. I don't like stock cam. I don't like stock heads. I mean, on at least one of my cars, I'm going to go all in with full aftermarket heads, cam, and intake. And I go aftermarket exhaust on all my cars as well because it saves weight and it sounds better. And, there's no way around that. It's just stupid. And, I just wish I had done this sort of comparison earlier. Because, you got to realize, when I took Brianna on the test drive, I basically whipped it around a bunch of tight turns around the guy's neck of the woods. I mean, and it felt amazing. I really, really liked the light steering and how... I always knew where the front wheels were going to go, and I knew that the back would follow it. I mean, and that was cool. But... that in itself was not a very complete test. And the fact that... Oh, there's money. Let's pick that up before I forget. Not like I have anything to do down here anyway. There we go. I'm like $2 richer. Classic GTA payouts here. It's like playing GTA 5 multiplayer. Do all this work and don't get shit. I really want to go this way. So I will. I will inch along like a little inchworm. Holy shit, that's a lot of cops. Oh shit. I should just go this way. But I ended up talking to my mentor about this, saying that I think with the 03 Plus Panthers, I think it's just how they're designed. I mean, Henry said, yeah, I mean, from what he's talking about from other people that have driven, he said the 03 Pluses, they don't feel very confident and inspired on corner entry, but they will take turns very, very fast with minimal upgrades. And that turned out to be true. I ended up taking the 2011 on one of my driving roads. I go between 80 and 82 miles per hour. Usually 80, just because I want to have a consistent speed. I'm sure with practice I can get it up to 82 for the first 2/3 of the road. But I was pushing 80 with Brianna, and it didn't feel like the car was working. I was running into some understeer, which again suggests it's a problem of alignment and bushings and other things like that. But it didn't feel like the car was going to die once it finally decided to take a line. But I just don't like cars that feel that way. I mean, I compared it to a Viper, saying that sometimes it feels like the front and the rear are fighting each other. I mean, the front end doesn't want to bite, but then the rear just wants to keep going straight, so it basically plows, and it just that's really not a good feeling. I don't like that. Like that kills your confidence. And yeah, but horsecock. Brianna wouldn't really be a totally tricked out, pro touring / built right Panther. Maybe not for a little while, because I like my boxes more. I gotta finish my 89 and my 85 and my 91, but I don't see the point in buying something that I'm not going to go all the way in. And the fact that I bet even with a cage and frames bracing and everything, basically a fully boxed, basically an upgraded chassis, I bet even with that, my 03 Pluses would still feel very nervous on corner entry. I think that's just how they're designed, and that's really, really unfortunate, because I actually wanted to see how far I could go with Brianna. That car was a lot of firsts for me. That was my first car ever made after 96 that I owned. First 03 Plus Panther. First 4.6 powered Panther. First 4R 70/75. I mean, it's, I mean, there are certainly aspects that I like about it. I mean, the 4R. I mean, even without a J-Mod, I really like how you can manually lock out every single gear. That makes a lot of sense if you're driving very fast on a variety of roads. I mean, when I'm driving really hard, I try not to use my brakes. I always try to go for engine braking. Yeah, it's bad for fuel economy, but I'd rather have my brakes when I need them. The Dodge Deer and errant motorists, potentially. Mostly Deer. I've had more problems with Deer than errant motorists here. Mainly because my 89 is just a scary, sketchy-looking car, and most people know better than to mess with it. True story, actually. Wow, I like how he spotted me from the fucking highway like that. I'm not going to lose him down here. Fuck you. Alright, I'll just go this way then. Cut this way. But... And that's why, I know that I'm going to like 90 to 94 town cars. Because they were based off of the same basic... they're obviously, I think they're a 0.1 inch longer wheelbase than the box town cars. But all a box town car is just a stretch Crown Victoria. That's all it is. All the suspension parts are the same. And they're like that until at least 91. I know in 92 they got different sway bars and a little different steering and everything. But like I said, that's easy. I mean, and what's really funny, I remember I used to be really not into the whole variable assist power steering, but then I realized all you have to do to make variable assist straight rate, you just remove the EVO valve. That's literally all you do, because the system, when it does, if the EVO valve doesn't send in any information, it defaults to full assist all the time, which is perfect for what I like. So, and that, and like the ABS and the airbags, I just pull the fuses, and for the ABS, I literally just pull the fuses, because that has nowhere to send the power. And then for airbags, just remove and pull the fuse, remove the beeper, and you're all set. So, yeah, this is good though. You can definitely tell. Like I'm definitely having fun here. I mean, a couple swings of momentum in this Getaway, but we're going to do it. I'm really starting to learn how to work around its width, because this car is so fat. I mean, you cannot mentally grasp how fat this car's ass is until you just, oh god, I mean, just look at those finely contoured cheeks. Oh god, I'm getting a boner already.